Alright, now I know there are times where you struggle trying to come up with a story for your next film. Believe me, I get it. But in today's episode, I'm going to change that with 6 tips to help you come up with a story for your next film. Starting in 3, 2, 1, wait, intro. Hello everyone, this is Fernando from Agree Creation, and you read the title right. These are going to be 6 tips to help you write your next film. Let's get it. Alright, for first tip, write down things that come to mind. We all have thoughts in our head. When you have a thought in your head, write it down. Don't be afraid to write it down. Believe me, there are times where I'm at my day job, I'd be having a thought and then I just write it down. I don't care if it's like 1,000. You can use your cell phone, you can use a notebook, or carry a little notepad with you. They're not that much. You can get them from Dollar General for cheap. Any idea that comes to your mind, write it down. Tip number 2, come up with things that you know. Notice that there are times where people try to make a film, but then you notice that their heart isn't in it because they're not really connected with it, especially when it's your first film. Now I've noticed when people start their first film, they always think, oh, I have to go all out with a topic that I don't even understand. Start out with something that means a lot to you, that means personal to you. Because when something is personal to you and means a lot to you, you put your all into it. And when you love it, you're gonna put everything you got into it. Tip number 3, watch other films. This has happened all the time. You be seeing a film and you be watching it and you're like, how about if, this is good, but if I were to do it, add your own little twist to it. For example, I'm shooting a film called The Cottage, right? And it's based in 1987. That date isn't a coincidence. Not so long ago, I believe it was last year. Yeah, last year, American Horror Story, they came out a new season called 1987. And I was watching it. I loved that it was based in the 80s and I loved the plot twist. But the one thing I didn't like was that it had too many plot twists, and those that have watched it, you know what I mean. And if it's, sorry if it's a spoiler, but you'll see what I mean. If you haven't seen it, you'll see what I mean. So yeah, I took that and I put it into something that I would think would be good. And now The Cottage is being made, coming real soon. But yeah, that's an example. You watch something and watch something that's more toward your type of genre when it comes to films. Or it could be done even in music videos. I mainly do music videos and short films, right? So I study other people's films and I study other people's music videos to see what did they do to make their video successful. So I take what they did and I make it my own. There's this quote that I learned not so long ago. Good artists take, but great artists steal. Now, I'm not saying to steal someone else's, just take it and make your own. Tip number 4, please do your research. Do your research. Research. If you don't do your research for a certain type of genre that you're trying to shoot for and a certain topic, especially if it's in a certain time period, do your research on it so that it will make sense. For example, found footage films. Not so long ago, a series with, I'm sure y'all know, it's called Paranormal Activity. That genre was a hit. But let's say someone made a found footage film, but it had music built up in the background of it. Now that wouldn't make sense because let's say that you found a video, right, and you popped it into VHS. For y'all that don't know what a VHS is, that's, those little cassette things. You found a footage and you popped it in and you press play. And then all of a sudden, there's music built up behind it. Now that wouldn't make sense because if it was a found footage, there wouldn't be music built up in it. Or I've seen this in found footage films, the footage is too clean. That footage, that video, or whatever it is, that film has been sitting there for decades or a long time. So it's not gonna be clean. I've been seeing some found footage are like shot in 4K. Why would you do that? Because that does not make sense. Just do your research for a type of topic that you're trying to shoot for, and you'll be good. Tip number 5, simplify it, but make it make sense. If you're making a short film, you have so much to put into the gap. But I've noticed that when people do short films, some certain films in general, it seems like it's rushed. Simple says a lot. Make certain time periods or certain events that are happening in the film, make it make sense. Now the 6th one is more like a tip for when you're done writing your script. For some filmmakers, when they write a script, they want to follow it dead on. Don't be afraid to go outside the script. Whenever I shoot a short film or whenever I shoot a music video, I show them the story and I tell them what it's about, and then I have a storyboard of what it should look like. But I always tell them, don't be afraid to improv, because the more the character improvs, the more natural it will be. Just because I think it a certain way doesn't mean they think it a certain way. So let them at least have a gist of what you want it to look, or what you want the footage to look like. Let them act natural, let them react how they would. Now, of course, if there's lines involved, you have to follow in a certain way. But even if you have to follow it a certain way, let them understand the gist of the lines, but let them become one with it. Let them express it the way they feel comfortable with it, because if they express it the way they feel comfortable with it, then the film will come to life and be more human, instead of following the script like a robot. So yeah, don't be afraid to go off the script. Don't afraid to go outside the box. And yeah, those are the 6 tips that I have for y'all to help you write your next story. I hope this helped you out when you're coming along and you're stumped on your next story. What the heck should I write about? This video, I hope this helped you out. But in conclusion, also remember, it's your first time. Don't sweat it. People that have it given up after first try of writing down a film because it's not successful to them or it's not good enough to them. It's your first time. Nothing is gonna be the great. I don't mean to be blunt, but nothing is gonna be perfect the first time. It all takes practice. Just keep practicing over and over and over, and you'll get that one that makes you happy. And you never know. This happens a lot of times. The one thing that you think isn't the best turns out to go viral. So just because you think it isn't good doesn't mean it isn't good to someone else. You might touch someone else without even knowing it. So yes, practice, practice, practice. There are 24 hours in a day. Utilize the hours that you have and don't waste your time. If you have time to come up with a story, go for it, because in the end, it'll pay off. My name is Fernando from Embria Creations. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video. Comment below. I would love to read your thoughts about this video. See y'all next time.